beautiful people. It's Angela Renee, the creative doula, right? I know you guys know that with Angela Renee and Co. Yep, working it all out here, folks. You know I'm working it all out. I am your everything for the podcast. So, hey, we do what we do. But I am super excited to be with you guys and to talk to you about this topic, which is why you're stuck in 3D. I mean, I've talked to people about 3D, 4D, 5D levels of consciousness, and that's not enough. I haven't reached enough people. But even with talking to people about it, I get the question of like, yeah, I know I should be doing this, but how come I can't seem to get past being stuck in 3D? So we're going to talk about that. But first, the educator that I am has to go back and explain these levels of consciousness. So we're going to do a levels of consciousness review. So remember, we have the 4D, 5D, right? 3D, 4D, 5D levels of consciousness. 3D level is what you're going to find, you're going to see most people in, y'all. And that just it's what it is. And you can't, once you move beyond that to 4D, allow other people in 3D to pull you back in. But it takes work and it takes practice. So it's all right. That's what we're here talking about. 3D level of consciousness looks like this. You are unhealed. You are unauthentic. You are focused on those things that say ego, the physical realm, right? You think it's all about you. And you don't recognize that you should not be comparing yourself with the world and with others and with things, what they have versus what I have. You are so caught up. You are exactly where the 1% wants you. They can use you and your mindset to get you to purchase things that you don't need to purchase because they say it's important. And you don't feel adequate if you don't have the newest iPhone or the newest pair of Nikes or whatever brand you feel is important. Or if you're not putting up enough um, TikTok, I don't know, things, and you're not getting the likes that you need to get. Oh, it's ridiculous. It's exhausting to be and to exist on the 3D level. Okay. Now, 4D level, you're moving on. You recognize that you got to do some work with yourself. You need to know thyself. So you're doing the work to know thyself. You are um, working on using positive affirmations and positive intentions, and you're in prayer, you're in meditation, you're spending time getting to know you. You may even take a few tests, right, to know your character, right, the personality test. You may even step into understanding more who you are when you're born and your astrological signs. You may look into your life path number, but you're doing the work to understand who you are. You're doing the reading, the research in yourself to get to understand you. Um, you have may even done even a deeper dive, and you're working with your coach or your counselor, or maybe you have a trauma therapist that you're dealing with. You have a therapist, whatever it is, you're understanding that it's more than just, it's not life, it's not surface. You're beyond that physical realm. You're moving into becoming your best self. That's the 4D level. That's what I call faith. So that 3D level is the physical level, the 4D level is the faith, and the 5D level and beyond, which 5D is just the first level of the spiritual realm. But the 5D level belongs what I call knowing. When you know that there is something outside yourself that's greater, right? And that if you can release and let go, if you can live in the flow of life, you can live that abundant life, right? and that you can begin to manifest the life that you really want, right? So that's the beginning. 5D is the beginning of that level. You'll begin to understand manifestation on a minute level, I would say, because the practicing of manifestation will take you higher in levels. Um, but now I'm going too deep. I don't want to go too deep, but that's the basics, y'all. When you get into that 5D realm, you are your authentic self. You're not afraid to be who you are. You're not worried about what anybody thinks. You don't have to have the job that your mother or your father said you need to have. You are living in purpose and on purpose. 5D realm is bomb. And yeah, you'll slip back and forth, you guys. You will slip back and forth. And if I don't put this, and I'm going to do it real quick. 1 second. If I don't plug this up, y'all, we'll be out of here. We'll be out of the studio. And I don't feel like recording again, so we're gonna be a little bit uh real. How about we real? I'm always real. So I didn't want to have to record again, y'all. That is not fun. But that is that's your review for the levels of consciousness. Thank God I have the level of consciousness where I can read. And I said, if I don't plug this up, we're in trouble. So here we are, y'all. We did not miss out. But now, okay, now what? Okay, you should be charging good now. Um, but now, y'all, we need to talk about why you're stuck and how to get unstuck. That's the big deal. That's why we're here, right? We want to move, we want to grow, we want to get beyond this. So I love these points that we're going to talk about and why we're stuck, right? Why we're stuck. um I love these points, but it's the last point. It's the last point that's going to blow your mind. So don't go nowhere, stay right here, y'all. Wow, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's this. Let's see what's going on. We keep getting a little bit of ticking and stuff, but it should be charging. It should be fine. Um, so with that being said and that resolve here, let's talk about these reasons why people get stuck. So I think one of the big things when you cannot get beyond the 3D is because it's just fear based. It's a lot of fear, right? And a lot of times people are they're fearful of what other people think. They don't want to be criticized, right? They don't want to be rejected. So they get stuck people pleasing, right? Or being what they feel like they should be for their own reasons. And I'm telling you, the mindset is powerful, you guys. That's why you have to free your mind, right? I love what Parliament would say in their song, free your mind and you know what will follow. Free your mind and your behind will follow. That's so true. Free your mind and you'll begin to walk, you know, in a way that's pleasing unto you. But you got to free your mind first, right? So get rid of the fear of criticism, rid of the fear of rejection. And a lot of times people get stuck because they're focused on the past. Y'all, the past is the past is the past. We are here in the present. You have to learn how to live in the present to get beyond 3D level. You have to learn how to live in the present and with an expectation of a great future, right? So you don't get stuck, right? Very important that you know how to do that. But living in the present, appreciating the moment is extremely important to living a fulfilled life. You got to learn how to appreciate each moment. All right. Also, people become hopeless, y'all. They become hopeless because they don't feel like they can live an authentic life and they're not following their inner truth, right? They're just continually trying to please other people and live and be what they say you're supposed to be on social media. That comparison life, that the reason why people are stuck is because they're stuck on the 3D level of consciousness and they need to learn how to get out of it, right? But as exhausting as this is, right? Here's the thing, you don't understand purpose. And here's the bottom line, when you don't understand something, you will abuse it. So if you don't understand you, you will abuse you. If you don't understand your purpose, you will abuse you because you won't walk in purpose. And I've said before, the most important thing you can do is to connect with your purpose and to walk in purpose. That's the true self-love, y'all. That's the true self-love, is living on purpose and walking in your purpose. But if you don't understand, you will abuse yourself. So let's get unstuck, y'all. Let's get unstuck. Let's let's get unstuck and let's talk about that. Let's talk about that here. Let me give you some truth on how to get unstuck. First thing is self-awareness. You got to become aware of you, aware of your purpose, aware of what makes you happy, aware of what you should be living like. Become your best self. Okay? And you can do that by accepting responsibility. Accept a responsibility, right? You got to realize that you have to be held accountable for the life you want to live. Nobody else, no matter what happened in life, no matter what mom did or didn't do, no matter what dad did or didn't do, no matter whether your mother or father were there, no matter if you lost your parents, very early on, or never got to know your parents, it still all boils down to you, you guys. You got to do the work with yourself. There's no one to blame. There's no one to blame. Yes, things happen, and we need to love ourselves, and we need to forgive ourselves and forgive others, right? We need to be forgiving, but and patient with ourselves, but there's no excuses. We must accept responsibility. Another thing, develop being present minded. We were talking about living in the moment. It's very important that you develop being present minded, living in this moment. Like while you're listening to this podcast, The Truth Serum, what in this is for you? What can you take from this and use to become your best self? Develop present mindness, right? Very important. I love that one. And then let go of attachments. Let go of all attachments. I remember one time, and I used to love and still love Prince, love Prince and African art. And I remember one time, this was early on, I was young, I was in my 20s, and I was growing in God, growing in my levels of consciousness, growing up and becoming more and more self-aware and aware of the spiritual realm. And God had me get rid of everything I had that was Prince. And I had drawings, I had things I had made. Oh, I loved Prince and all of my African art. The two things I loved, they were like my possessions, right? And I had to get rid of them. And I couldn't give them to people. That was another hard thing because I'm a giver, so that would have made me really happy. I couldn't give them. I had to toss them. I had to get rid of them, y'all. That hurt. That really hurt. And but it was it was it was my own personal test that I was given to see if I could detach. Okay, so it's important that you let go of attachments. And everybody's test is different. I'm not saying that that's what you have to do, but it's whatever the Most High speaks to you. It's whatever your spirit man is saying to you. And then choose self love. I like that one. Choose self love, right? Choose to love yourself. And I always tell people, when you do that, that means you understand your purpose and you're walking in it, because that is the real self love. Because if you are walking in your purpose, you're going to do everything to make sure that you carry out your purpose and you're going to be living your best life. I promise you, when you really start walking in purpose and understand what that is, it changes your whole life. Discover your purpose, like I said, and walk in it was my last point, and it's the most important point. So I've repeated that apparently because I needed to. And that is really that's really all I have for y'all. It's just truth. The truth is is that you must understand who you are so that you don't neglect yourself, because wherever there is a misunderstanding or a lack of understanding, there is abuse. And you have abused yourself long enough. It's time to get to know you so that you can stop neglecting your purpose, stop neglecting yourself, and become your best self. And that's it. And that's all, y'all. on today on Truth Serum. I am here if you need me. I can help you at any time if you go to authorangelarenee.com. I'm not author. I changed my thing. It's angelarenee.com. I'll tell you, went back to that. angelarenee.com. You will find out more about me. You will find out more about Angela Renee, the creative doula. If you have a book you need to write or edit it in both, or if you need to help with self-publishing, I love doing that. If you have a script you need written, I love doing that. I'm working on a script right now. I can't wait till this play is done because I can't wait to share it. I am living my best life. I am living on purpose, and I would not steer you wrong, y'all. You got this. You got this. Do the work with yourself. Go from 3D to 4D to 5D. And when you get in 5D, you really have no excuse to be hanging out in 3D. Once in a blue moon, if you slip there. And usually what happens, you get so good. You get so good that the only place you slip at is for a second in your mind. And then you catch it and you're right back on track. All right, y'all. This has been Truth Serum with Angela Renee.